I see you kept the family going, and I respect that.
Okay, so it should be me by your side.
You don't have the power over him you think you do.
All right, what's the plan?
Somebody's framing me for this.
You need to eliminate the threat.
I killed a man for that money, Diana.
And I ain't tell you to do that.
Yo, look at her face. Yo, her face look like she got a stroke. She probably got a stroke, son. She like, yo, what are you doing here? Welcome back. This is going to be a spoiler reaction to Power Book 2, Episode 5. I'm going to break down some things, some scenes. I'm going to try and talk over some. I really like this episode. I think this is probably the strongest episode in Power Book 2, Season 2 thus far. And it's kind of sad we only have 2 weeks until the next episode. But you know what? It's going to be worth the wait. Because this episode was heavy, okay? So again, if you haven't watched this episode yet, spoiler warning. I don't want to ruin it for anybody else. But yeah, let's enjoy it. Let's break it down. Let's get to it. It's because look at her face right now. Look at the concern in Monet's face. I don't think I've seen that concern on any of her children. Not Kane. Well, maybe when Drew got shot, she had concern. But of course, your son got shot. But the level of concern that she has, I don't think I've seen with her other children, you know, outside of being shot. And that goes to show you how much she had love for Dante, a.k.a. Mecca, which was her true love. And the child that's bared from that love, she has as much love for him, right? Now, when it comes to other children, don't know how her relationship is with Lorenzo. They kind of are vague on that. It seems like more she was his, you know, ride or die in the streets type of wife. And that's why we're seeing their dynamic, how, you know, we'll talk about that later. But for this moment, I just want to point out, look at her face. Look at how concerned she is. Her baby might go to jail. And I'm sure she does not want that. Yeah, all right. See, and he asks, is everything good? And he tells him nothing. And that's kind of what you get. Okay, so what I'm going over in this scene, because the audio got corrupted while recording, is that Brayden is in a crossroads. He wants to prove himself. He wants to show Kane that he is capable. He's not just some silver spoon white boy. And Tariq has a lot on his plate right now. So because Tariq is going through so much, he probably did not notice what Brayden has been doing with Kane. You know, in the back of my mind, you know, having the old ghost in mind, I hope Tariq was smart enough and wise enough to maybe follow Brayden, see what he was doing with Kanan, see the badge, and maybe have it get caught, maybe have it there to get caught on purpose. But again, that's a lot too far-fetched. But nonetheless, what Tariq is getting is karma, and that's the centerpiece of this episode, is that because he's been lying to Brayden, he's been shifty, he's been acting just like his father, Brayden is now giving him that same treatment, not telling him what's going on, and in the end, Tariq pays the price. It goes to show there's times where you have to lie to protect yourself and make things go forward, but it also bites you in the ass in the end. And that's why I say that's what he gets.
It's not your problem or mine. Then let him go. That's all the fuck that matters. You know, you're the reason why he's in this shit in the first place. I don't ever want to see your face again. I don't want to hear your name. You stay the fuck away from Zeke. You stay away from me, you keep your job.
See? Monet gives her a get out of jail free card. She tells her, just get away from Zeke. Forget about the situation. You don't know me. You don't know Zeke. You don't know anything. Okay? But just like Jabari, for some reason, it's like when your life is so boring being a professor, when you have this level of excitement, which she used to get as a district attorney, and Jabari would need this level of excitement in order to put into his books, which he was lacking in his life. It seems like she's going to go down the road Jabari did, and all at the helm of the manuscript. She had a way out, and I'm sure she considered it. But as soon as Tate Brother walked in and gave her the manuscript and said to read it, that's when a fire was in her back. You know what I'm saying? Little Miss Nympho don't know how to act, and it shows. So we'll see how that goes.
We don't need to fight together anymore, Dante. There's nothing to fight.
Now, it's funny because Mecca kind of has this ghost-like energy, right? Where he knows everything that's going on. He moves very subtle. He's not in your face with it, of course, until he tries to kill you right in your face. But I'm sure he understands and knows what's going on, you know, with Monet. I think he knows what's going on with Monet's family more than she does. And I think Tariq showed that in this episode. And boy, did you love it when Tariq went off on Monet. She tried to pull the upper hand. So, you know what? I'm in control. And he's like, nah, you're wrong. You're out of control. All right. Your son did this. Your daughter stole from you. And your son's not listening to you and still messing with somebody who can jeopardize a business. You don't know what's going on. You're on an island. And Mecca sees the opportunity of her being on an island. He just wants his girl back. And I'm sure he also wants control. We'll see how this works out when Lorenzo finds out that Mecca's back in town and even learns who Mecca is. I'm sure they know each other. They look alike. They look like brothers. It'd be crazy if they are brothers. Right there.
Set up your kids
that is what Monet has been looking for this whole season. If you remember, in the beginning of the season, she had this whole game plan to where Zeke had to go enlist in the draft. Why? So that she can find a way to give jobs to her kids to protect Zeke, and they all live off of Zeke. And they won't have to be in the business anymore. You know, after seeing her son Drew get shot, I think they came to the realization, which you already know the game was real, but then her kids could die as effect of it. Monet is somebody that needs to be in control. And when things aren't in control, she seems to lose her shit and try to find any type of way to gain control, whether it be send Tariq to go spy on Kane or get Kane to go get some dirt on Tariq. Divide and conquer. You know, it's funny how, you know, Power always uses, you know, lessons from like the 48 Laws of Power in order to invoke and move the storyline. I find it interesting. But my question is, how will the ending of this episode affect her plan to escape? Because if you get all your kids, including her, on a trust on Dante's, you know, document, Monet's no longer in control. She's going to be in the same position she was when Lorenzo was out. Well, she'll always be number two. She won't be controlling the helm, and maybe that's what she wants. And Mecca's finding a way to get her out that life. Don't stress. You're a ticking time bomb. All right, next up, we have how Tariq was getting pressed. All right, and I mean like hardcore pressed by Shorty over here, okay? Watch this.
Karma?
Tariq, enlighten us.
Well, it provides, you know, incentive for moral action. Karma is the law of cause and effect.
Yeah, and then just to... Please, I am interested in Tariq's perspective.
Professor, I'm not sure what you're looking for.
Karma means you cannot escape your sins. No matter how fast or far you may run, they'll always catch up to you. Don't you agree, Tariq?
And you see right here is where I question, why is Professor Milgram going so hard when she's no longer a suspect, where Zeke is no longer a suspect? What is her end goal here? You know, is her end goal in the beginning when she got Lauren to wear the wire was to get some dirt off of her. But if the dirt is all off, Zeke is out of jail, they're no longer looking at you as a suspect. What's next? So it's either she's still trying to protect Zeke because that Whitman guy has a hard-on for Zeke and has some type of jealousy and will never give up him as a potential suspect. That could be an option. But to press Tariq like this, I mean, look, I get it. As I said earlier, it's all about karma. And it's funny and ironic how Professor Milgram talks about karma when, in fact, she's not free of wrong deeds. I mean, you're sleeping with a student. So it's either information about her and Zeke is going to get out because somehow Monet is going to find out that little Miss Nympho, all right, not only can't keep her legs closed, but can't keep her mouth closed, okay? And she's going to expose her to the university, have her lose her job, and then she'll be gone from Zeke and Tariq for good. Or she can go to the Jabari route, where the manuscript's going to get her popped too. And if anyone's going to pop Professor Milgram, it's probably going to be Monet. And maybe in a change of events, it might be Whitman. Because I don't know why that dude's so salty, but he's acting like salty ex, and it was never really a thing but a fling. I don't get it.
So if we're going to get past this, I'm going to need you to earn my respect back right now.
Do anything.
I need you to find out who Kane's connect is. Get me a name, and I'll let this go. And if Kane finds out what you're doing, I'm gonna know you two are up to some shit. And the gun won't stay on my lap next time. You feel me? Now find your way back.
Yo, you know how tight I would be if somebody picked me up from my campus, took me way out to the boonies, not even the boonies, wherever the hell they were, like by a dock or something, and told me find my way back? Like, dog, you know how much money Tariq has made for that family and they can't even offer him a ride? Come on now. Anyway, this scene was funny, but it's also a moment I want to point out because Monet clearly is on the ropes. And she clearly wants, you know, not only power and respect, but she wants to be almost omniscient of everything that's going on, okay? She doesn't know what's going on with Kane. She don't know who his plug is. She doesn't even know that the plug is Mecca, a.k.a. Dante, who she's fucking around with. And she knows that Tariq is smart, but now she knows Tariq isn't in fear. And so she's losing control. So it's a moment I want to point out because it shows how important it is sometimes to divide and conquer to accomplish your end goal. And even when you do so, it doesn't end up the way you planned it. But yeah, I thought this moment was funny how she just left him out there and told him to find his way back. That's grimy. I mean, I get it. He lied to you, so it's your payback, but goddamn, Monet.
I don't think I can wear this wire anymore.
Yeah. I really don't like the fact that Lauren decided to be a rat on her boyfriend. I mean, granted, she has no clue the type of life that Tariq lives, and he works hard to make sure that's the case. However, Lauren, they found you with like the amount of drugs they're found on anybody on any given campus, including right now, okay, in America. The fact that they can use your privilege, lack of knowledge, your naiveness to but agree to wear a wire? Come on now. For 6 pills? I mean, granted, I think this season is showing you, you know, Professor Milgram started out as a wholesome, heartwarming, out for the students, you know, type of professor. Well, she really was when it came to Zeke. And later on, you got to see the side of her that most likely existed when she worked as a DA and a lawyer. That shisty, conniving, manipulating Carrie Milgram. And I ain't gonna lie, I enjoy that as a change to her character as being a melodramatic sex addict. I didn't care about her storyline before, but now I'm a bit more invested, you know, in this character. Because it kind of breeds true to what power really is that everyone is generally a villain in their own right. And I think this episode proves that. With Brayden, you know, lying to Tariq, being his best friend. With Lauren wearing a wire. All right, Carrie Milgram, who was out for herself in the beginning, now is just out to seek justice. Ultimately, Kane, Mecca, and everyone is out for themselves. Monet, even Dina. I think I said her name wrong, but either way, she's out for herself as well. Whether it's stealing that money, getting her father out, because she realizes, yo, if I can't get a leg in with my moms, if her moms won't let her free, perhaps her dad will let her fly. We'll see how that goes. Everyone is finding leverage in their own way, and I just hate to see that leverage was used, you know, on Lauren Paige Heard to get it to right on Tariq like that. I'm just hoping Tariq was smart enough to know that Rolly doesn't tick, and he knew there was maybe a wire in there due to police searching and all this other shit, and hopefully he gave them that information purposely. We'll see how that turns out in episode 6 to 10. This scene here with the shout out to my guy for getting the job on Power after being on, you know, the Cosby Show and getting pictured on social media, bagging groceries. Everyone had jokes. Shout out to 50 Courtney Kemp for, you know, getting my guy a job. He's a staple in the black community, all right? Even though he did play, you know, the kind of, you know, nerdy, awkward, you know, character. Either way, that's love. You know, that goes to show you how black people aren't a monolith and we exist in many facets. Oh, by the way, things you missed. You probably missed the fact that the same song that played when James St. Patrick went to jail in episode 1 also played when Tariq went to jail in this episode. That goes to show you that ghosts never die, okay? Speaking of, I can't play this part on YouTube because it probably get a copy strike. I'm trying to do 30 seconds or less clips. But yo, when that letter was written... when that letter was written, when that letter was read by Tariq and it said, "This is where you belong, little nigga." Your utmost petty, First of all, I love how they set it up. First, they had the lawyer come into the prison or whatever, the jail, said, hey, I was told to give you this letter in case you were arrested for homicide by your father. Tariq's like, yo, what's in it? He's like, I don't know. And I always hoped I never had to give it to you. And I'm here thinking it's going to be some advice. There's going to be some, hookups in the jail system. Something to help Tariq get out there. Because, I always felt his father had some type of love for him. But nah, it was just a total FU. And I love it. Ghost is petty even in death. Even in death, Ghost is petty as hell. You got to love it. This scene was grimy. The fact that Kane tried to go talk to his girl, I feel like Kane's going to get messed up big time. Once Tariq finds out that not only has this man tried to get his best friend, his partner, to move against him, he's going to also find out that this dude tried to spit game to his girl. Because, Brayden's a good guy. He's going to come, tell the truth to Tariq. Now that Tariq's in jail, everything's messed up. He got to come correct and let him know, hey, I have been chilling with Kane. We dug up that body. That's probably why they found that badge. And he even tried to mac on your girl when you weren't there. We're going to see the wrath of Tariq at the end of this episode. And if you realize, last season, we saw Tariq, at the end of the episode, take that big leap. And I think at the end of this season, we're also going to see a big leap. And shout out for Lauren for being loyal.
I honestly, I don't care. All I know is I get to get back out there, play with the fellas. I can hit that draft, get into the league. How y'all know each other?
Oh shit, we met at the club. You know the night we all want to forget?
Look at that face. Look at that face. That's a face of an individual you can't trust. Because that's a face of fear. That's a face of maybe this person would lie this well to me and I would have no clue. Maybe this person's been lying all along, And I honestly think this guy got to go. Now that Monet knows that this dude is a potential threat. He's seen Tariq come home bloody. He's seen the GTGs. He already ratted once. And once a rat, always a rat. Am I right? And this guy's already having doubts about maybe I don't know you and all this melodramatic BS, right? It's interesting, though, because I think last season, Drew had a much deeper storyline here. And it seemed like they totally wrote him out the story. I don't know why. But nonetheless, I think it is going to be an interesting development to see how Drew handles the situation. If he does have that Godfather-esque, character written into him, we know what's going to happen to this guy. It's a pot that's boiling and soon to boil over. And once it does, time to turn the stove off. Not a fan of this character either. It's like, bro, if he tells you what his family's about and you don't like it, leave. All right. If he tells you what his family's about and you're like, you know what, I understand, but you fuck with him more than you do the fear that you're feeling, then okay, deal with it. But this guy's stuck in the middle, not knowing what to do. I guess he's worried about his NBA draft prospects. He's worried about all these things. Get rid of him. Get rid of him.
Tariq, I don't trust Kane right now either. So I need to find out what he's doing. Mazika's under suspicion.
Yo, so we're seeing her. We're seeing her transform into a mini Monet. All right. Now, trust me. I think she's being heavily underestimated. The calculated moves she's making, successfully going behind her mom's back, getting her father out, working with a lawyer solo dolo. And I think Monet has created a monster, right? Where if you don't allow, this individual to blossom, they're going to think that you have an opinion that they're not capable. And I think that's what she's feeling. And because she feels that way, she's going to go ahead and show you how capable she is. You got to realize all her life she grew up learning from Monet, absorbing all of what she does and what her moves are. And so her moves are going to be just as cunning. I'm liking how her character is advancing. She also wants to go into accounting. I wonder if Tariq's going to go the route of being with her rather than Lauren, because now he knows that Lauren is a snitch, and that's going to drive a wedge between them. This might be the next move. Have a partner in crime who's just as smart as Monet, if not smarter. That'd be his Tasha.
Okay. I'll help you. On one condition.
Anything. Talk to me.
And she looking fine as hell in this episode, too. Detective Whitman, man. This guy is something else. I mean, I know they got to make a character that you hate because he's like this season's Sax. Like, all right, we had a white guy people hated. let's go ahead and have another white character into the show that we also gonna hate, and that's him. Who, for some reason, well, we know why. He's jealous. I don't know what it is. Maybe he thinks he doesn't size up. So he's taking out his jealousy that way. Who knows? But he's gonna get his in the end, or he just may be around longer than we think, like Saxe. What I'm interested to see is what the dynamic between Tate and his brother is gonna be, because we all know that this guy is all about justice. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He's justified. He seems to be, you know, morally on the right side. And you know, in power, it seems like when you're morally on the right side, you tend to take a fall. You know, I think it was Lala who, granted, she wasn't 100% morally in the right, but she wasn't out here killing people or doing people wrong, but she ended up getting killed anyway. So I wonder if in the spinoff where Tate's gonna have his own show, how that's gonna impact him, where he knows that maybe Tate's doing some dirt to get his power, and Tate's gonna be using his brother in order to get some dirt on people who may or may not have committed crimes. And we'll see how his morality is tested when it comes to family. It was here. He knew. He fucked up.
Fuck, yo. For something.
Yeah, man,
I wasn't looking for shit, man. I was just making a call.
I was thinking he had his black hoodie on. It was nighttime. He was about to get his St. Patrick on. Nah, homie,
man, I was just
the cameras are right there. They seen you. Now you about to get your ass.
The fuck is that?
Your phone taken.
That one of Mahoney's boys?
Man,
Keep
so
him still.
I think they showed us this because we all had the expectation that this is James St. Patrick's son. When the hoodie is on, that means it's game time, and it's demon time when the hoodie comes on. Okay, that's not the case with Tariq yet. He's not there. He's still being educated. All right. And I don't think James, who earned his nickname of Ghost, Tariq's gonna have to do a lot more than this to earn the nickname of Ghost. He gotta learn how to be much more stealthy, how to get the information he wants much more cunningly, and it's gonna take a while before he gets to that point. And yeah, Tariq gets pretty messed up here, get black eye, bloody nose, and then later on we see the dude, you know, who's beating Tariq up, get his throat slit, just to show you how ruthless Mecca is. So you know Kane's gonna be on his P and Qs when it comes to Mecca, and he had to lie, because if not, it would have been him on that cocktail shrimp and not this dude. Crazy scene, crazy scene.
He hasn't been able to live outside of a halfway house for a while. But my parents gave me the keys for when he's back, so how about we say it's not forever, but for right now.
I don't even know what to say. Lauren, like,
Tariq, it's okay.
So this scene, I think, is gonna come to bite Tariq in the ass, right? Because you have a brother who's, you know, in a halfway house. He's not gonna be there forever, but Tariq may use the house for some type of, you know, stash house. The house is gonna be a stash house, okay? Now I wonder if he's gonna have access to this after he gets out of jail, because who knows what Lauren's parent. I don't even know if Lauren's parents knows about this. He probably doesn't. But nonetheless, I think it's going to get Tariq even more tied up, because the brother's going to come back at the worst time when the drugs is in the house. They're doing the operation. And he's like, yo, who the hell is this? Why are you in my house? It's going to be a whole nother drama. Next, shout out for Lauren for being a ride or die, coming through in the clutch. All right. See, this is the type of stuff that reminds me, you know, of the Angela Valdez, where in times where Ghost was going through the utmost struggles, Angela was the point of solace for him. You know, he was able to relax. He was able to, you know, take the weight off his shoulders. And it seemed like that's what she's able to provide to him here. So it's sad to see the relationship get breaking up soon by the fact that he's going to learn that she's a rat. But it's nice that he has someone like that in his corner who's always going to be with him. Even though he's the most flaky dude ever. My son be running out anytime, any chance he get. Oh, I got a cold, baby. I got to be out of here. Anytime, any chance he get, he's out of there. But yeah, shout out to Lauren for this. That was a surprise. I didn't think she was going to give him an apartment, but pretty interesting. Yeah, you can see how bad my guy Tyree got to go. Got to stick and move, man.
I told him about it.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
So
I hated this scene so much. I was hoping Tariq was smart enough to know the wire was on her. Just like all the times people had wires on them, whether it be Angela's sister or even Proctor. He knew how to handle that, how to talk around that so he wouldn't be indicted, you know, for something he said. Maybe Tariq knows, but the way he's talking so freely, saying, hey, I know the book isn't about him. Why would you even mention the book? Well, He's going to mention the book because he trusts Lauren. She literally just gave him an apartment to stay to help him get his sister. He knows that she's on his side by her actions. But he doesn't, that means he doesn't know about the watch. So when he does find out about the watch, he'll be devastated. Devastated.
On top of that nigga only wrote about black people anyway, so.
So not Brayden.
No.
What I'm hoping that Tariq knows the watch is a wire, a recording device, and he's going to feed them this information in order to frame Kane. You understand what I'm saying? Because if Tariq that day went through all the shit in the dorm and to get it out because of police search, he probably knew they were coming. And that badge was in his drawer. So if he would have got rid of the badge or had it on him at the wrong moment, maybe that would have been a worst case. But if he left the badge in the dresser to be found, yeah, he would go to jail. Yeah, these things will happen. However, they don't really have any other solid evidence or motive on him. And so he'll get out just like Zeke because he has an alibi, right? If Tariq was known to be in this location at this time, there's no way he could have killed Ramirez, right? Also, if he just told Lauren and the cops at the same time that he only wrote about black people, so it's not Brayden, it's going to point to Kane. And Kane's going to go to jail for this shit because he's the one who actually killed Officer Ramirez. And I have a feeling Brayden is going to go ahead and come clean about what happened. I don't know.
Which means it's probably not about him. That means...
And this guy is still stuck thinking it's Zeke. This guy's still stuck thinking it's Zeke. I mean, come on now. Give it up. Yeah, it means it's probably not about him. Bro, we get it. We get it. You ain't packing on that. All right? He mad that she was with her brother? Not one brother, but two? This guy. I'm sick of him. Sick of him.
The fucking problem. It's always family and fucking business. What am I to you? Huh? Your soldier or your fucking son?
You're both.
Then what kind of fucking mother does that make you?
What a quote. What a quote. I think this is a powerful scene, I think, from both actors. Mary J. Blige played a part in this. I forgot his name, but Kane played his part in this. I know he tried to do a little Will Smith angry scream, open eyes. He did a good job. I definitely believed it. But on a narrative note, Kane's right. You know, Kane is starting to realize it's not just, you know, Tariq while the family get fucked up. It's sometimes her and her little manipulative games. It's almost like Monet is having the same trouble keeping the family together that Ghost did, where it takes lies and manipulation to get things done the right way. And sometimes it doesn't always work out. And unfortunately, the kids can face the brunt of your actions. So it looks like she's losing Kane. She already lost her daughter. Drew is already trying to figure some shit out low key. Don't forget about him. And Tariq probably is the only person who's willing to work with her because that's where he get his work from. We'll see. Even though he kind of got work from Kane on the side away from Monet. So we'll see, man. I think the introduction of Lorenzo is definitely going to shake up the power dynamic in the house, where all the kids are going to favor the father they haven't seen for years. And Monet is going to, I don't know, find a way to gain power or something. Because that's not looking too good for her right now.
You can't do none of this shit without me. You need me. And I need my sister, so what are we doing?
In that moment, she knows he is 110% right. You don't have your house under control. You are literally living on an island like Dante said. Maybe that way out is not looking too bad after all. Maybe that trust is not looking too bad after all. You don't have to play this game. You don't have to be in the streets. And Tariq, I got to give it to him. He's definitely the same Patrick who's able to say something at the last second to get his way. Got to give it to him. And then she lets him out. I'm going to skip this. I didn't really find the whole scene with the custody battle to be, you know, a huge narrative mover. I think it goes to show you how hard Tariq goes for his sister. I think that's like the last semblance of family that he has, you know, and he probably feels guilty about putting her in a situation in the first place. Because if he never killed his father or sent the mother away, she would have been fine. So That's probably what it is. And yeah. Now the messed up part is when this guy came back to campus. When my man Tariq came back to campus, thinking he just won, he on top of the world, and then boom, cops is there. Brayden is there being questioned. Everybody gossiping again about the St. Patrick going to jail. It's tough, man. It's tough. Now, this is the best scene of the whole episode. I know Lorenzo was up there for a shock, but you kind of saw that coming from a mile away, right? The money was spent. Davis is a good lawyer, and they're going to figure out a way to get him out, right? But this letter that Ghost wrote to Tariq, nuts. Ghost never ceases to amaze me at how petty that man really is. He really said, I'm going to get the last laugh. And it also makes me think, if he has these things planned out for moments that may happen in the future, what else other letters arise? And what other things will Tariq get postmortem, his father will give him later on in life? If Ghost was able to plan down to the fact that, yo, my son might get arrested for homicide, let me go ahead and write this letter. And perhaps when he gets control of the clubs or the business, maybe like season 3 or 4 or 5, we're going to see letters where it starts out at the bottom, where he says, yeah, you are where you belong, little nigga. But as Tariq advances, he graduates college, he starts a business, he grows in the streets and becomes Ghost. That's when we're going to see a heartfelt letter that's probably going to make Tariq tear up. That, yo, this dude really loved you and you killed him. And he was ready to, you know, help you along the way and maybe tell him the plan that he had, you know, for him in the future. It's crazy. Now that's how you end the episode, yo. That's how you end the episode. I thought the episode was going to end when Tariq was sitting in the police car. And I was like, that's how you end the episode? Damn. It's a cliffhanger, but damn. But this right here, when Lorenzo came home, and she was apprehensive and nervous about what she's going to tell the family and inform them that Zeke is actually their half-brother and that this guy Dante is their father and he wants to, you know, be in the life and meet Zeke and what they're going to think. To get this curveball, man, you know Monet is slipping because in the first season, she knew everything that went on before it even happened or right after it happened. But this season, it seems like she's so caught in love that she so long lost that she really can't see what's right in front of her eyes. And what I love here is the look from Deanna. Look at her face.
Ma, how did you keep this a secret? This why you been acting so weird?
She knows what she did. And the soulless, the coldness of her kiss and her reaction is nuts. And yo, peep her face. Hold on. Play that face.
Yeah, I guess I
Look.
didn't want to ruin the surprise.
Yo, look at her face. Yo, her face look like she got a stroke. She probably got a stroke, son. She like, yo, what are you doing here? What the hell? This changes everything. She ain't gonna run away with her knight in shining armor, Dante. She can't talk about how Zeke is her son. Everything, her way out the game is gone. She's now locked back in this to where Lorenzo has control of the streets and she's gonna be the number 2. It's nuts. And it's probably gonna be a big out war. So I'm excited for the next 2 weeks to see what's going on. I think there's gonna be a lot of developments. I think Tariq's gonna be in prison for the first episode after the break. I think episode 7 he'll be out. I also think that Kane is gonna, get a rossing from Monet for putting that badge in Tariq's drawer. I also think Professor Milgram is gonna also get her, hens come to roost, or her karma's gonna come right back at her. She may lose her job and or get popped somehow. Honestly, I think the block's too hot for her to get shot. But she potentially may lose her job because it may come out that she was sleeping with Zeke. Lauren and Tyreek is not going to be anything anymore. It's going to be Deanna and Tyreek. I also think Braden and Tyreek will have a fallout, but it may be saved because if that's his Tommy Egan, they're never going to split up. So I think Braden's going to come to him, tell him the truth, and they're going to plan how to, you know, get him out of there, number one, and two, how to get back at what Kane did. So I'm excited for this. I think this episode, or this has been his best episode of the season so far, and I think this season's even greater than last season because last season was really a setup. And this season really got into the drama that we saw, you know, in Power Book 1, where Season 2 was huge. So I'm excited. I think this episode was great, so much so I made a video about it. If you like the video, let me know. I'll make more. I'll react more. I'm trying this new thing. I always liked Power for the past year. Since Book 1, I was watching Power. So I always thought, you know what, why not make content about shows I love? And this episode is one I love. And damn, Mary J. Why'd they give you a stroke in this episode, son? Oh, man. Anyway, thank you for watching. This has been Dez. I'm here reviewing things and reacting to things and whatnot. So hopefully you enjoy this content and they don't take this video down for copyright. You'll see me next episode in 2 weeks. Have a happy Christmas. Enjoy your family. Eat up. Live good. Be happy. And I'll catch you next episode, all right? Peace.